we just want to come to you with an update. Most of you know we moved here 6 months ago to New York City. The Lord called us. It was a crazy prophetic story, and so we're here now. We're serving with a ministry called the Justice House of Prayer, JHOP for short, and it's also a local Sunday church as well, which is called Life Center. So what we've been doing, we just kind of want to come to you guys and give an update. It's been a bit since we've really posted a video about what we've been doing. So we do weekly prayer sets. I go Tuesdays, Josh goes Wednesday. We cry out for the city. We contend for just the Lord's purpose and kingdom to come to the city and all that he has intended for it. And then Friday nights is like an Encounter God service. We do worship, we do prayer. It's kind of like a spirit-led thing. And then Sunday mornings we do our church. So that's kind of what we do on a day-to-day basis throughout the week. One of the practicals is I've been or doing like some worship leading and singing on the team. So that's been amazing. It's been a desire of mine since being back at IHOP, and I never had that outlet, so that's been great, being able to be plugged in with that. I've been helping out with the children's ministry. We're trying to construct a 1 to 2 year old class right now. We only have a class available for the older children, and so those are just some practicals of what we do throughout the week there at JHOP.
Yeah, and most of you know that follow us or have been a part of our lives. For us, we've always kind of been like evangelists in the house of prayer. So our hearts are equally split between being a part of the contending house of prayer, but then also being the answer to our prayers and going out and seeing the sick healed and the lost saved. And so it's been a lot of fun being in a house of prayer literally in the middle of New York City. We're just down the street from Wall Street. And so our transition has been amazing. And we're not going to take a ton of time to share testimonies because I know most of you probably follow us on social media. You see our stuff. But one unique thing about this season is it's 2 different circumstances and things. It's been an interesting dynamic of us, almost in a sense of being in a tad bit of a pruning season from the Lord, where he's just kind of putting his finger on areas in our lives. And so we didn't know, we thought we were moving to New York City for revival, which we did, but like the Lord's got us in this preparation journey where we're maturing in areas and where he's dealing with us on different sin issues and different heart postures that aren't in it, whatever. And so it's been kind of a tough time, but a glorious time. But I want to quickly just share, most of you maybe have seen the Pod Squad. What is the Pod Squad? This is one of the biggest things that we can see the Lord doing right now. Here in our neighborhood, this has been kind of almost our full mission field right now. Is right here in our neighborhood, it's a real busy area. There's businesses up and down the street, and God, through different circumstances, just being who we are, just being lovers of Jesus, just being in our neighborhood, God has done some incredible things. And turns out that there's about 5 kids that kind of run up and down the street all day, every day, because
literally, like right on
like literally,
there's 5
yeah.
kids.
I mean, I just looked at the window and one was there a second ago.
Yeah.
And so what's been happening is there's all these businesses, and so the people that work, it's funny, they're these small little diners, locally owned barbershops. It's way different here in our neighborhood in Brooklyn. Everything's locally owned. You get to know the owners of businesses really well. But so some of these people at these businesses have children who they work full time, so their kids are left to just kind of play on the street. And God has entrusted us with these kids right now, and the parents. We've gotten favor with all the parents, and so we let them. We kind of had this group, and they call themselves the Pod Squad, and it's so fun what God is doing with them. At the Chinese restaurant across the street, the parents of these 2 Chinese girls, they're Buddhists, and they're interesting people, and God has just been rocking the place. The 2 girls now are professing Jesus. The oldest, the 11-year-old. Took her Buddha necklace off and threw it away. I'm teaching her about prayer. She actually prayed for my knee like a month and a half ago. I hurt my knee in the gym. She prayed for my knee and I got healed, and it's just lit her world up. Now she's looking for opportunity to pray for people. It's just been crazy. The delivery driver at the Chinese place actually got shot about a month ago, and we got to pray for him fresh out of the hospital. God healed him, and it blew his mind. He's like a whole new person. He was raised in a Muslim family. He's talking about being at home reading his Bible now. Every time I see him, he wants to talk about God, and it's just been a crazy, just what God's doing in our neighborhood, even to the point where people are watching what's happening, and they're like, what's going on with you guys? Like, we see you loving all these kids in your neighborhood, And even one guy came up to me one day and was like, literally came up next to me and started backing off. And he was like, dude, every time I get around you, there's like a presence that comes off of you. You know what I'm able to witness? And so God is like legitimately transforming our block right now. And it's the most unique thing because it's not outreach. It's just us living our life. You go across the street, you get a cup of coffee, you go get your hair cut, and it's just day after day after day, amazing opportunities. And so it's been a fun season, a learning season in many ways. And so when we did our first video, you guys remember, we ended up raising $30,000, which was like, we could not believe it. And that $30,000 got us to this point right here. That paid for our moving, you know, the whole what it takes to move somewhere and then move into an apartment. And so basically, most of you know that New York City is a pretty crazy city to live in. It's actually 3 times the national average. So the biggest thing that we are I shouldn't say up against, but that we're dealing with is just this issue of our rent for our apartment. God gave us this ridiculous, beautiful apartment. It's been amazing, but we've pretty much that entire fundraiser, literally like more than half of that entire fundraiser went directly into securing this apartment with security deposit fees, with broker fees. And so we were able to pay 6 months up front. And so that leaves us to where we're at right now. We're actually doing very well as far as funding goes for just our regular life. We've actually gotten a bunch of new partners in this season, but we still are left with this massive apartment. Yeah. I mean, we'll be just honest. It costs just shy of $3,000 a month for us to pay for our apartment. Literally, it's about $3,000 a month.
Which is like a steal of a deal.
Especially for what we have. It's incredible. Come to New York, you can stay at my place.
Yeah.
And you can come see it. But with that said, we are going to do our official first ever fundraiser since living here. We have not even raised $1 since living here. God has supernaturally sustained us, but we knew it was time. We owe again for our house on December 5th, and so we just are in a place where we are fully funded other than this. And so we're just asking you guys to consider sowing into this. We got about a month to raise the money, and we're grateful for whatever comes in because we know God sent us here. But we're trying our best right now to just launch out in faith, and we're believing God for 18 grand. That will get us. That will secure the next 6 months. We're on 6 month at a time leases right now with our apartment. So if you're watching this and you've sowed into us in the past, maybe you never sowed us, whatever, whether it's $50 or whatever, we have so many people that believe in us. It doesn't take $20,000 donations to make this work. But if you're convicted at all or watching our lives or provoked, we just ask you to consider sowing into us. You can do it on my website, which is joshmacdonald.org. You might have a donate button on there. You can message me on Facebook. We can begin to have communication about this. But we would really love for you guys to just partner with us so we can continue to see God be glorified in New York City. So bless you guys, and thanks for taking the time to hear a little bit about what God's doing in our neighborhood. And there's much more going on than what we can share in this video, but we'll keep you updated.